Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Sohn, channel is called Ethernet Wink, and in today's video we have the second advent of code video. So, we're going to hop right into it. We're going to be building on what we did last episode with getting the data and just plotting candlestick charts. Today we're going to be getting that data, calculating indicators on it, plotting it with strategy, and plotting a different indicator as well. I'm not going to code the plotting function along with you guys because it takes an eternity to type. So I'm just going to kind of go over the code with you guys and show it all to you. Feel free to pause the video and copy down as much as you would need to. I just want to keep these videos a bit more concise. So I'm going to go through the calculation with you guys, and code that along with you guys, and then talk about the plotting function just for the sake of time. So yeah, before we hop into that, I want to show you guys my business Twitter. Link to this will be in the description. All the updates are going to be here first. I interact the most on this, so definitely give that a follow. And my indicator I made in collaboration with LuxAlgo. You guys could sign up for this and put it on your trading view if you find it is something that you would want. And yeah, there are videos on my channel backtesting this as well if you would like to see that information. So let's hop into our challenge for this week, our task. So this task is to use the latest code that you wrote to get data and then calculate indicators from the data. Add a moving average cross strategy with signals, and RSI, and Bollinger Bands. Sweet. And so then this is the plot with strategy function. It's just long. It's just long. It's how many lines? It's almost 30 lines. No, it's almost 50 lines actually. That's how math works. It's about, what is that, 43? 46? Whatever. So we're going to hop into it now, and we're going to start coding the first thing to get our moving average. So we're going to say def add moving average strategy. We need data. We need a short window, and we need a long window. Those equal signs in there, in case we never specify what we actually want the parameters to be, it'll just use that as default. So we're going to get a column for our short MA. We're going to be going off of the close. We're going to say rolling window is going to be the short window, and then we want to grab the mean from that. And so then we also need a colon there because it's a function. And so now we're just going to copy that, come down here, give the long window, and then long MA. And so then we're going to say df, not df, data, and then we're going to say signal, and we're going to use mp.where. mp.where is awesome. So mp.where, and then we're going to specify our condition. So we're going to have condition, and then we're going to have a second condition, and it's going to be 1, and then we're going to need another mp.where, and so that'll be condition and -1, and then we're going to have a 0 if all else fails, and we need a comma there. So what is our condition going to be? Well, it's going to be when our short MA is greater than the long MA, and then I'm going to say less than or equal to, but then the last ones, the ones before that, sort of shift it by 1. Right, so when the one before the one we're on now, the short MA was below the long one, but now on the one that we're currently on, it crossed above, right? And actually, before we keep on going any further, I want to say data equals data dot drop NA values. There we go. And so now, put that in there and just flip the signs. And so now, you have a moving average cross strategy. So there we go. Then we can return our data. Let's go ahead and just print that to make sure that we did that right. So print data.head calc indicators. And so then we should call the function first. That might help, don't you guys think? So now after we call the function to actually, apply the changes, here we go. Do you want me to? Okay, no, that's okay. We can ignore that for now. So we're just going to clear that. And then, yeah. So now let us code a RSI. So I'm going to say df and then calculate indicators. We just need our data for this. And so now if we head back into here, we just added the moving average cross strategy with the signals, and then we just need an RSI and Bollinger Bands. So I'm going to code the Bollinger Bands first because it's pretty similar to what we just did. So I'm just saying MA 20, 20. That's just the default values. That's just what I'm going to be using for everything. It's just defaults. Like if you were to go into TradingView and just search up Bollinger Bands, the default would just be 20. So that's what we're going to use. I'm going to say data dot upper band. We're going to set it to be this moving average. Whoops. Plus 2, and then we're going to say times the rolling, for the close, the rolling windows standard deviation. And let me check in my reference right now if it is. Yep, it is. Okay, no, it's still 20. I couldn't remember if it was 20 or 14. So now we're going to do the same thing, but just our lower band, and this is -2. There we go. And I'm going to remember to do data.drop in A, and then return data. Just before I forget, because I always forget to do that for some reason. So now let's go through what we need to do to calculate this RSI, right? So we need to get the difference between all of our closes. So just previous close minus this one, right? What is it? So all the gains is going to be actually put that in parentheses. So data dot where, and then I need this other condition, and then delta greater than 0, and then 0 is going to be like the default value pretty much, and then just rolling. Wow, I can't type. Window. It's going to be 14, and we're going to get the mean of that. And then loss will be the same thing, just with a negative, and we have to flip the sign. And so now RS is going to be gain over loss. And you should probably rename that variable too. And so then we're going to say that data RSI is 100 minus 100 over 1 plus RS. That's the formula. Cool. So now I want to come down here. I want to say data equals calculate indicators, data, and I want to print it just to make sure that we're all good. See how we got here. Cannot set a data frame multiple columns to single. Okay, so let's come up here and see what I have to do differently. So I'm going to really just copy my RSI code, and we'll see where the difference is. I put the it has to be delta dot where, and the negative sign has to be on the inside. So make sure that you don't overlook that. Take a good pause. Yep, there we go. How it all works. So take a pause. Make sure that you didn't just do what I just did. Right? It should be delta dot where delta is greater than, and then less than, and make sure you have the negative sign on the inside. Then that should all be working. And so then we can clear that. And now let's go look at this plot with strategy function, right? Because we need to make subplots. We need to have our candlestick strategy and then our RSI. So we're going to have 2 rows and 1 column. And this is how we're going to specify the spacing between them. So our candlestick is going to be 70% of the chart. And so then we're just going to make our candlestick like we did in the first video. We're going to just add our short and long moving averages in the first row, right? First row, first column. Then we're going to say that the buy signals is wherever the signal is 1. Remember how we did up here? right, wherever it's 1. And then cells is wherever it's -1. And then we're just going to put a marker on it with the correct color at the correct Y. And then, excuse me. And so then if we have, then we have that. And so now we have to have our RSI in the second row. So we're just going to plot our RSI and then plot a dashed line at 70 and at 30 for overbought and oversold with the correct colors. And then just give everything a title and a height. And we should be good to go. So now if you run this with this function getting called, we should get, yep, that wasn't an error. Don't worry, because we get all of these. That's not how I wanted to do that. Do it like this, and then I'll full screen it. So we get Apple, Google, and Microsoft, and we can see we have our RSI down here, so it'll be oversold on September 29th. There we go, and then we can have our buy signal, and it actually ended up working out. We have our moving average cross right here for a buy. And we can just see our moving average on the chart for everything. So yeah, and here is the crossover, and here is our marker. All right, so yeah, I know the strategy doesn't look great, but don't worry, stick around. We're going to make some way cooler strategies, and I'm sure that you guys are going to enjoy that. But yeah, that would be the code for all that. Take your time and either type this down correctly or check out the GitHub that I'm going to make for us. And yeah, that is our second Advent of Code video. The next video is going to be about volatility. The next video is going to be pretty much doing the same thing, but calculating volatility instead. So that way we can get into talking about options. So yeah, if you guys are excited for that, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and I will see you guys in the next Advent of Code video where we start talking about volatility. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you.